I would say Yu-Gi-Oh is very similar to Pokemon, but in a slightly lower in terms of popularity, but the demand is definitely there, and you do see the collectabilities of both. What has also influenced the collectability, especially the older Yu-Gi-Oh cards and so forth, is the fact that people are able to see, wow, a Charizard is XXX dollar graded. So people are now going back to their closets, under their beds, looking for some of the old school Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so that they now feel that, hey, some of these cards are pretty cool. And on top of that, playability of certain cards still exists. So I would say if you're looking at it from a price standpoint, older cards are moving up, softened a little bit in the last 3 months. As with everything, as people started going out, going to work, hanging out with each other, they're not just spending time and money on cards. But then in terms of the people that are playing, in terms of products, it's pretty steady. And price point's actually pretty steady in terms from a Yu-Gi-Oh standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that works against Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit is that it has great potential to be a nostalgia brand in the same way that Pokemon is. I mean, the original, Yu-Gi-Oh anime was introduced to the United States pretty much right around the same time as Pokemon, just a little bit after. So it's really people who are part of the Pokemon generation are pretty much part of the Yu-Gi-Oh generation as well. I think one of the things that works against it is that that brand isn't necessarily as prominent and front and center in the rest of the world nowadays compared to Pokemon. And also just the current game, I don't know appeals to, or just the current cards from the current game, I don't think appeals to people who are nostalgic for Yu-Gi-Oh in the same way that something like Pokemon can. I meet a lot of people who are like, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2002, and I really liked the game, and it was cool, and it was fun. I want that. I don't want these new cards that I don't recognize, and this new type of gameplay that I don't really understand. I think Magic does a good job of splitting things up for different folks. I think Pokemon has a good track record of keeping its core, and keeping its foundation something that you can always go back to and that you can always see in the new product. I think a lot of people are intimidated by modern day Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a way that people aren't for other TCG products. So one of the core things that determines often when you see people picking things up is, has Konami started printing products that are designed specifically to harken back to those older cards?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you aren't able to introduce new players.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Because Yu-Gi-Oh has structured decks, has starter decks and all that and so forth where new players could come in. But it's really the returning players. There are some that are coming back and they'll say, oh, I enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh then, I'll play. But we hear more of folks, as to what Adam said, that I enjoy the old format, I don't like this new, I don't understand type of format.